Hey guys, welcome to Mile and Method Boot Camps. It's a great pleasure to have you guys here. I'm Nick Willis and this is my wife Sierra Willis, and we've been running Mile and Method Boot Camps for over a year now. So we're your sort of coaches through this journey, online coaches to bring this online group together as we help you towards this journey of trying to improve your mile over the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, a lot of people ask us why we started this boot camp, and just to make a long story short, about a year ago, I was sort of a jogger when I met Nick, but I didn't do any sort of serious training. I just went out and ran with friends. I sort of followed the guidelines of just run easy, run to a conversational level, and train for a half marathon if you really want to push yourself. And while that was really fun, after a while I kind of grew bored with it, and having a husband who's a world-class miler, I sort of wondered, I'd see the training he was doing and notice it was so different than how most joggers trained. And so I said to Nick one day, like, what do you think I could run for a mile? Because I had never timed myself for a mile, never even tried. And so I went out and tried to run a hard mile, and I think I ran about 6:40. And after that, I had this goal of trying to get under 6 minutes, which, seemed really fast for me, a time that started with a 5. And so we wrote a little training plan just for me. And, we incorporated things like hill work, tempo running, a weekly long run, things like that I
Track
hadn't
intervals.
really, getting on the track, doing some intervals and stuff like that I had never even considered doing before. And I loved it. It was a lot more variety than what I was used to, and it made the training really interesting. And we also felt like it made me a better all-around runner. And so eventually we decided, well, maybe there are other people that would like to train like this, and we've seen so many benefits for me doing it. Maybe other people would find this interesting as well. So that's why we started writing training plans for other people who want to try to work on their mile speed and incorporate a little more variety and athleticism into their training.
We've had almost we've had right on around 500 people do this camp right now. So it's been a fun journey. We've learned a lot along the way, and we've really found the people that have got the most out of these camps are those who really share their experiences throughout this camp. As you see, we're filming this from Hawaii. We're here right now because I have a race in Honolulu in a few days, and so we're actively here daily on this Facebook group, available via email and Messenger, to answer those questions. So those people who are sharing their workouts, posting photos of how they're doing, getting cheered on by their fellow teammates, other Mile and Method Bootcamp teammates, those are the ones who write back to us and say, hey, we really got a lot out of this.
Yeah, this group will have a good mix of people from all over the world, I think, at this point, because it's December, so a lot of people who are experiencing a North American winter maybe won't want to be training really hard for the mile on slippery snow and
We've got a
ice.
few indoor runners doing it.
Yeah, that's true. If people who have access to an indoor track might want to do this, but we also probably have a good amount of people from the southern parts of the U.S. and also from down under as well.
Yeah, so get to know each other. Don't be shy. Share about your background, why you chose to take on this challenge, and that'll be a really exciting thing to get to know some of you. There's a few people who are transferring over from our Mile and Method base camp, so they've just done an 8-week camp working on their base fitness, training for 5Ks, and so it'll be really interesting to see how that will translate into a good foundation for this mile speed as well. So that's a first for us.
Yeah, wherever you're at, we're really excited to help you build up. Endurance is still 80% of the equation. So when we talk about building mile fitness, we are incorporating speed, but we're also doing it in a really safe way because we're trying to protect you guys from getting injured. For a lot of runners, they go out and jog, but they're not necessarily used to exposing their body to fast stuff. And so we try to do it really gradually for you guys. And, it's also really important that we're building up your endurance. So wherever you're at, we've designed these training plans and we've tailored them to what we think you need individually. So
now we'll be doing videos once a week, sort of forecasting different aspects of the week's training that's coming up. But this first week we'll be doing 3 videos describing the 3 workouts that are coming up. And your first workout coming up isn't until Tuesday after a day off. And part of the reason why we established the day off at the start is to emphasize, and we can't emphasize it enough, that the first week really is just stepping stones, getting your body used to these new stimuli that you probably haven't done before. So we don't want anyone getting injured. Don't worry about pushing it yet. You can do that in weeks 3 and weeks 4. But initially, to start off, we just want you to get a sort of your toes wet a little bit as you get used to this training. So
now, just as a specific note about this camp in particular, you know, we said all of these videos we do live as you guys are going along in your training. That way we can sort of address any questions that have come up on the Facebook group or any individual things that pertain to this particular group. But also 6 weeks from now is the due date of our second child, which is really exciting. You can probably see this bump. So we'll probably, maybe in the last week, you may have a video that's made a week early just to play it safe in case, you know, I go into labor a little bit early and we don't have time to make a video that week. But
she may be giving birth in 6 weeks, but she's actually running a mile race in Honolulu the same day as I'm running with, at 35 weeks pregnant. So that's going to be interesting. We'll be able to report how that goes. So that's sort of the fun intricacies of what we're going to be doing. These people of all ability and experience levels. So everyone's here to cheer you on, and we'd love to go along this journey with you guys. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and we look forward to this experience. All right, guys.